You're listening to an AppleViz podcast.
Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas Domville, also known as Anonymous. Now, you probably have known that I am a huge weather guru, meaning that I just never seem to find the right weather app, and I've done so many different coverage of podcasts of different various weather apps in the years I've done the podcasting. Well, I tell you, there's a reason why I do that, because, there was a time where I would have 3, 4, maybe 5 different weather apps, and each of those weather apps gives me something that I'm looking for. Maybe one gave me the weather forecast I like, maybe one will do lightning detection, and another one will give me severe alerts and notification. I do have other things like I like to track, which is a hurricane in the east in the Atlantic Ocean, and various things. So it was like a hodgepodge of different weather apps on my device I would have to have on there to take advantage of that one little feature that I really like out of all those. Granted, they were free, and that was the objective. I wanted something free, but it came to the time where I just this is getting tiresome. I just want one that will help me kind of combine some of those weather apps into one. No, it doesn't combine everything, but man, it is pretty darn close. I can at least remove 3 of those easily, if not 4, off that and combine it into one. So I am going to be covering AccuWeather today. Yes, it's like a vegetable, C-A-R-R-O-T. It's been around for many years. It's been known for giving you a little prank saying for your weather. I think a lot of people may have heard about AccuWeather. I really never took a dive into it before. I just know I looked at it and just didn't seem like it was for me. But over time, it kind of grew on me, and I decided this is my go-to weather app. So this is what I use for my weather app, and I wanted to introduce that to you today and kind of do a coverage of Cares and dive deep into what it offers and what I like about it. Now, of course, weather apps are subjective, and it's a personal preference, what you like and what not. And, of course, everybody is going to have different opinions. But nonetheless, I've been wanting to do this for some time, and AccuWeather is a free app for you to download. It does include some very basic elements, things you can do. So you can see the current temperature, the forecast for the day, and what the forecast looks like for the next 7 days, whatever not. However, what makes AccuWeather really stand out is its subscription, and that's what I purchased. And it's nominal. It's about, I want to say, $2.80 US a month. I think it's well worth that, especially that I depend on my weather a lot, and I just use it a lot. I'm not into subscription a whole lot, but this is one exception that I made room to have subscription. With a subscription, you can do so much with this. It's incredible. It is completely customizable when you have a subscription, meaning you can create what you want on the screen and what to get notified and things like that. So I'm going to show you all the cool things that Care has to offer as a subscription. I'll try to point out areas that where it's free or not. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of it just for being free. If you use the free option, yeah, it does a pretty good job, and the data source that you use is fantastic, and I will show you what I mean about that. So without further ado, guys, sit back and relax and let me take you on the journey of AccuWeather.
AccuWeather. Double tap to open.
So let's leap into the AccuWeather app. One finger double tap to open this app up.
AccuWeather. Current conditions for Lee Summit. MO. Heading.
Okay, folks, so let's start with the interface here. I like to kind of introduce you the tabs along the bottom first, and then I'll come back to this main page where it takes you. This is the home page that always takes you when you first open up Carrot. So at the bottom left-hand corner,
tab bar. Selected. Weather. Tab. 1 of 5.
And that's your home, your weather tab, and that gives you all the details about the weather.
Maps. Tab. 2 of 5.
As I swipe to the right, it's pretty self-explanatory. So maps is maps. We will be diving into maps. Yeah, even if I'm blind, I do want to show you something pretty cool that you can do within maps.
Locations, tab, 3 of 5.
And as always, location allows you to have multiple locations like I do. I have multiple cities I like to watch at a given time, and you can go back and forth to different locations.
Caret, tab, 4 of 5.
Now that is common odd areas. It's more of an entertainment tab, and I'll be explaining more when we dive into Caret. That's area where you can go on missions, you can do achievements, and it has some historical statistics and stuff like that.
Settings, tab, 5 of 5.
And then lastly, we have settings at the bottom right-hand corner. Now, those are the default tabs, and as I mentioned, AccuWeather is completely customizable. You can change around those tabs. You can replace those tabs with something. You can hide those tabs. It is what you want out of your own weather app. Pretty cool. Now that the first tab, the weather, is selected, and that's what we're going to head into first, and I'm just going to kind of give you a glance of a user interface first, and then I'm going to dive deep into that weather tab. There's a lot more to see that is under the hood that you don't see. I know it's crazy, right? So I'll show you what I mean. So let's go to the top here with 4-finger tap at the top half of the screen.
Share button.
You have the share button. That share button allows you, if you double tap that allows you to share this particular current condition and its little snarky remark that AccuWeather likes to give. And you can share that via whatever method of share sheets you would like. So you can airdrop it, email it, you can message somebody about it, or go to Mastodon. It's kind of funny, or just a way of showing your friends, oh God, look at my weather here, or oh, check out what Care says. That's what the share is for. As you go to the right,
options button.
You have the option. I will be coming back to that in a little bit. I will just keep going to the right.
Current conditions for Lee's Summit. MO heading.
Now, a lot of the interface is pretty similar to what you will see when you open up Care for the first time on your end. I've made a little bit of modification here and there. I will tell you some of the modification I've done as we go through it. But as a basic package without subscription, you will get most of the items that you see or hear on this screen. So obviously we are in the city that I'm doing a podcast. That's in my current city, which is Lee's Summit, Missouri.
Winter weather advisory button.
If you have any types of warnings, advisory, whatever, yes, you will get that popped up right on there, and you can double tap that and it'll take you right into the statement that you can read for your area, which, by the way, this is a international weather app. So this is another plus for those that are outside of the States, that some of the weather apps I've done in the past is exclusively for the States. Well, rest assured, this is for everybody. Well, I should say most everyone, and it will cover a lot of different regions and countries around the world. Anywho, now that you have the statements there, and if you have a subscription, you can get notified of these different types of weather alerts, and I'll be showing that to you further when we get into the settings.
33 degrees and partly cloudy.
So there's our current temperature and some Fahrenheit.
Feels like temperature 23 degrees. These clouds taste like cotton candy, prawn-flavored cotton candy.
All right, now there's the Care's trademark. Is this little statement that I always say how to say something about the weather. I toned it down just for this podcast, so there are different settings you can have set for Care. You can give it go crazy off the rails and different things, or you can make it professional, whatever not. It is changeable to your liking.
Winter weather advisory.
So what we have there, we have the current observation, and now we're going to go into the next segment, which is
less than 0.1 of snow in next 12 HRS.
Kind of gives you kind of an outlook glance for the next 24 hours. So that's what this segment is. So it gives you advance warning. So we are expecting to have a little bit of snow and ice. So it tells me the measurement for the next 12 hours.
30 miles per hour gusts in 2 hours.
Okay, so the wind is going to be picking up pretty quickly here in a couple hours.
Sunset at 5:26, 4 HRS 34 mins.
Now, that's something I have never seen in any weather app. Yes, I've seen it where it tells you when the sunset is, but I never see it tells you how many hours and minutes it is until sunset. That's pretty cool.
Waxing gibbous moon.
And now it tells you what moon phase it is for today.
Next 24 hours. Overcast conditions from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., with snow expected at 8 p.m. Heading.
So now we're getting into that 24 hours I was mentioning. So this is the observation area. And this gets into the hour by hour. Yes, you can move this around if I want to have hour by hour be read at the towards the bottom so I can get all the other stuff first. You can do that. You can rearrange it however you want. And of course, that takes a subscription, just as a friendly reminder. But what makes this unique as I go to the right here?
12 p.m., 33 and partly cloudy. Precipitation chance 2%. Cloud cover 58%.
Now, you may not hear the cloud cover. I've added that to customize it. I like knowing the cloud cover, but you can add any data points to that, and I'll be showing you that later, how you can add things to the hourly segment. And the other cool thing is I have it set to every 2 hours instead of every hour. And yes, you can set that to have it shown every hour or every 2 hours, and I do believe you have to have a subscription for that.
2 p.m., 36 and mostly cloudy. Precipitation chance 2%. Cloud cover 89%. 4 p.m., 38 and mostly cloudy. Precipitation chance 2%. Cloud cover 77%. 6 p.m., 36 and overcast. Precipitation chance 2%. Cloud cover 94%. 8 p.m., 35 and snow. Precipitation chance 2%. Cloud cover 100%.
So this will give you every other hour. You can change it to every hour, as I mentioned. Plus, what I made a little change here, I only showed the 24-hour segment, meaning that I have it every other hour in this hourly area, only for up to 24 hours. By default, it's 48 hours. I thought that was a little too much for my liking. I don't like to keep swiping to 2 days worth, but you can change that however long you want. So if you want it even more than that, you can do so. And as I swipe to the right, I'll come to the bottom of the hourly observation area here.
10 p.m., 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m. Show more hours.
You get to the show more hours. That's where you can double tap and see more hours if you want to go further. All right, so now we're into the next segment here.
Next 14 days. Mixed precipitation on Sunday through Wednesday, with high temperatures rising to 49 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday. Heading.
So now we are in the next 14 days observation window. Now, by default, you will have 7 days. And again, I customize this to show all 14 days. I think with this subscription, you can customize this to show only 7 days, 10 days, and 14 days. That will depend on the weather data source that you pick. I'll explain that in a bit. That offers this how far out it will show you observation for the week. So I have a set for 14 days. I want to see the whole 2 weeks of weather, what I can expect.
Sunday, partly cloudy. High of 36, low of 8. Precipitation chance 2%. Precipitation amount 0.01 in.
Now, you will not hear the precipitation amount. That's something I've customized and add to it. I do want to see how much precipitation I am expecting for that day. So that kind of helps me here.
Monday, overcast. High of 39, low of 31. Precipitation chance 60%. Precipitation amount 0.14 inches. Tuesday, rain. High of 45, low of 33. Precipitation chance 55%. Precipitation amount 0.45 inches.
So you get the idea how this observation works for the next 14 days. I'll just kind of skip to the next segment here.
0.7 of rain this week.
This is kind of cool. So it tells me I'm going to get just a little bit under an inch of rain for the week. It's kind of cool during the winter time. It'll tell you, well, you're about a couple weeks ago, it was showing me that I was about to expect about 9 inches of snow. And sure enough, I got 9 inches. And that it predicted in advance. I thought that was really cool.
30 miles per hour gusts today.
Still, it sounds like 30 miles an hour is going to probably be the windiest for the next 7 days, so we're going to expect that today.
Full moon Thursday.
So the next major moon cycle, so it tells me when the next full moon is.
Source Foreca button.
And then lastly, we get the source, Foreca. That is F-O-R-C-A, short for forecast. That is the data source, my friends. So let me go to the right here some more.
Customize layout button.
And then lastly, we have customized layout. All right, so that's what the interface looks like. Now let me show you all the stuff under the hood. This is where it totally blows my mind when on top of being able to customize everything I want in this weather area, because that's going to blow your mind too, I think. So let's go back left here.
Source Foreca button.
What makes this compelling? I have not seen this with any other weather app out there. And this is, if you one finger double tap.
Settings, back button.
Now let's go to the right here.
Data source, heading.
Data source are different weather data. So let's just say I like one weather data over another. Thus for in the previous, I used to have one app that I felt, oh, that one seems to be more accurate. Well, check this out, my friends. As you go to the right.
Frequently asked questions, button. Global providers, heading. Selected, Foreca.
You have these data sources you can pick from. Now, by default, for basic, you'll get Foreca. Foreca is pretty darn good for my area, and I'll explain why I said that for my area. But that is the default one is that you get with the basic. With subscription, you get data sources you can change yourself. So let me show you all the data sources available.
Apple Weather.
Yes. Isn't that cool? If you love your weather from Apple and you find that to be accurate, well, guess what? You can use that Apple data source and put that right here in Carrot. How cool is that? So it pulls all the data sources here if you do not like how the interface works for Apple.
AccuWeather.
Yeah, if you are an AccuWeather and say, oh my gosh, I love AccuWeather. It's not so accessible. Oh my gosh, I could start using that with Carrot. Yep, you can.
Tomorrow.io.
These are more data sources and places where they got weather.
Eris Weather.
Eris is pretty popular. If you are a weather app person yourself, that is what they use.
Open Weather. Regional providers, heading.
And now we get to regional areas. Check this out. This is for my friends outside of the States.
Environment Canada, Canada. Deutscher Wetterdienst, Germany. Meteo France, France. Met Norway, Norway. Japan Meteorological Agency, Japan. Willy Weather, Australia.
So many different services you can all across the world.
Download additional data, ellipsis, heading, personal weather stations, button.
If you are one of those really diehards that have your own personal weather mobile station at your house, or you know a friend, or you know a location, and you know their address, you can zap right into their data, weather data that they have, and you can join that and use that as a data source.
Air Quality Index, button.
Now, for those, these are additional items that you can add to the list of your weather, and air quality is one of those. Now, by default, this is turned off. If you go to the right here,
Air Quality Index, switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
It will always give you those two things. You always hear the label, and then you swipe again, and you'll hear the option to turn on and off. When we get into the settings, that becomes something you need to know about. I'll try to point that out again to let you know what those are. There are a difference between those two labels, and just simply turn them on and off. So I have this on.
Tides, button.
If you're along the coast and you want to know about tide.
Tides, switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
You want to turn that on. Every so often, I am in Florida, I'm along the coast. I like to see when the high tide is and low tide, and that will pop up when you are near a marine or coastal area that has tide reports for you to look at.
Foreca includes short-term precipitation data in the U.S., Europe, Australia, and Canada.
So it gives you an idea. Every time you select a data source, you can go to the bottom here and it'll tell you a little description about that particular data source. For example, if you go to AccuWeather, I believe that one will do pollens. So if you want to keep track of pollens, you can use data source of AccuWeather and whatnot, and to give you pollen report. Yes, Carrot will also give you pollen report. And this is for this screen. Now I'm going to go to the top half here, 4-finger tap.
Settings, back button.
And I'm going to double tap to go back.
Settings, heading.
And that gives you the different data source. Now, I'm going to show you something a little different here. It's a little similar, but it also is a little different. And that is when you select the source, that's permanent. Meaning if I would go to AccuWeather, every time I open up Carrot Weather, it's going to bring up AccuWeather or Apple Weather, whatever not. So by default here is Foreca. However, top right.
Options, button.
It's your option button. Double tap that.
Source swap, ellipsis, button, collapsed. Double tap to expand.
We have source swap. I'll get to that in a moment. I'm going to show you the rest of the things you can do here.
AR mode, button.
If you have an ocular, so if you have an AR, VR headset, Carrot will take advantage of that. And you have that option turned on and off in the AR mode.
Time machine, button.
Time machine is unique. And that allows you to see the history of weather for the past 60 years. Yes, if you double tap that, select the date, select the year, and it'll tell you what the weather was for that day. For those that like time machine or just historical information, you can go back in time, check out your weather. Now, that is pretty much it for this option. Now let's go back to that first one here.
AR mode, button. Source swap, ellipsis, button, collapsed. Double tap to expand.
Source swap. Now let me explain this. I'm going to double tap to open this up.
Source swap, ellipsis, button, expanded. Double tap to collapse.
All right, now it's going to show you kind of sort of the same sources we've seen before. Let me show you what I mean. Go to the right.
Foreca, button. Apple Weather, button. AccuWeather, button. Tomorrow I.O., button.
And you recall those are the sources I could pick. Now, what makes a difference on this, if I want you to just see AccuWeather for temporarily, I just want to swap it. So if you double tap AccuWeather, it's going to pull that data source and puts it on the screen. And you can go through the list with using AccuWeather weather data points. And this is temporary, meaning that when you leave Carrot and come back into Carrot, you go back to Foreca. That's your default source. So this is why it's a temporary swap. Now, what I notice in here for the states here, check this out. I'm going to go towards the bottom here.
Eris, button. Open weather, button. NOAA, button.
It's NOAA. Yeah, that's the United States version of their National Weather Service. So if you like the NOAA, NWS, for the states, you can double tap that and that will allow you to use temporarily the NOAA National Weather Service data. Pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to use any of those, so I am done out of this option area, but if you just double tap that, it will take you directly to that data source.
Source swap, ellipsis, button. Expand, dismiss context menu, button.
I tap the 4 fingers to the bottom half of the screen to dismiss it.
Source Foreca, button.
And let's go to the top here.
Share, button.
And we're back to the share. Now, here's what I'm talking about underneath the hood. Besides the data source, there's tons of stuff under the hood. It's just amazing. So let's go to the right here.
Options, button. Current conditions for Lee's Summit. MO, heading. Winter weather advisory, button. 33 degrees and partly cloudy. Feels like temperature 23 degrees.
Now, we went through this before. Now, I want to show you a couple things. Each of these little elements, you can double tap, and it'll give you more information. Yes. So, this current observation area is one section. So, this current temperature and the real feel, it will take you to the same page. So,
33 degrees and partly cloudy.
Let's take that one, for example. If I double tap this,
partly cloudy for the hour.
It will now tell me and take me to a page. It tells me what the forecast is for the next, what the condition is going to be like. If there are precipitation, that will pop up automatically and will show you hour by hour or minute by minute when it's expected to rain and when it's going to stop and things like that. Is pretty cool to have that at your fingertip. So essentially what this does, it goes into more of a detail page about the current situations or current temperature and etc. So we got all these different types of weather elements you can read. So I'm going to swipe to right and allow you to listen for yourself all the things you can see and hear in this detail area.
Temperature, 33 degrees. Feels like 23 degrees. Wet bulb, 24 degrees. Precip chance, 2%.
Now that one, a lot of people probably never heard of wet bulb. This is one of those rare weather apps I've seen this. You're going to see more of people using this term wet bulb. This is a great way to, because of the climate change that we're having, certain part of the world is getting very hot, and the wet bulb will allow you to tell you about how you should feel for that day. Yeah, they start using something called wet bulb. I would look it up in glossary. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on wet bulb, but it will tell you what your wet bulb temperature is.
Precip, past HR, 0.00 in. Wind speed, 13 miles per hour s. Wind gusts, 27 miles per hour. UV index, 2. Humidity, 18%. Dew point, -2 degrees. Pressure, 1027 MB. Cloud cover, 58%. Visibility, 10.0 miles. Air quality index, 37. Sunrise, 7:33 a.m. Sunset, 5:26 p.m. Moon phase, waxing gibbous.
And that is for the details. So it gives you a lot more information instead of having to swipe so many times and get too much information all at once on the main screen. If you want that detailed, you can just open that up. Now, of course, the customization, you can deck out the main screen all you want. You can put all those in there if you want, but this is kind of a nice thing to kind of hide some of the elements that are not necessary to have on the main page from not crowding or cluttering things up. So let's go to the top half here. 4-finger tap at the top half of the screen.
Weather, back button.
Double tap back.
Weather, share, button.
And then we're back to the weather, and let's go back to the current observation.
Options, button. Current conditions for Lee's Summit. MO, heading. Winter weather advisory, button. 33 degrees and partly cloudy. Feels like temperature 23 degrees. These clouds taste like cotton candy, prawn-flavored cotton candy. Winter weather advisory. Less than 0.1 of snow in next 12 HRS.
Now, this is kind of the observation, what you can expect in the next 12 hours or 24 hours. They come in here, and I showed you this before. Now, each of these areas will go into detail as well. I'm not going to go to all of them, but I'll show you one of my favorite.
30 miles per hour gusts in 2 hours. Sunset at 5:26, 4 HRS 34 mins.
Now, check this out, my friend. If I double tap on this, I want to find more information about the sunrise and sunset.
7:33 a.m. sunrise. 5:26 p.m. sunset. First light, 7:04 a.m. Last light, 5:55 p.m. Total daylight, 10 HRS 50 minutes.
That's kind of cool. Tells you the total hours of light that you have for the day.
Photography. Blue hour, 7:04 to 7:15 a.m. Golden hour, 7:15 to 8:13 a.m. Solar noon, 12:29 p.m. Golden hour, 4:46 to 5:43 p.m. Blue hour, 5:43 to 5:55 p.m. Dawn and dusk. Astronomical dawn, 6 a.m. Nautical dawn, 6:31 a.m. Civil dawn, 7:04 a.m. Civil dusk, 5:55 p.m. Nautical dusk, 6:27 p.m. Astronomical dusk, 6:59 p.m. Next week, heading. Sunday, 7:33 a.m., 5:26 p.m. Monday, 7:32 a.m., 5:27 p.m. Tuesday, 7:32 a.m., 5:28 p.m.
Crazy, right? This is, wow, I've never seen so much details about sunrise and sunset described in this manner. For photographers, for a marine, my gosh, there's so much in here. I was like, oh my gosh. And each of those areas are pretty similar to what you see in here. There's just so much under the hood that you don't see when you find one of those elements in the first initial page. Let's go back to the top here. 4 fingers, tap top center of the screen.
Weather, back button.
Back.
Weather, share, button.
Let's go back to where we were.
Sunset at 5:26, 4 HRS 34 mins. Waxing gibbous moon.
Yes, if you want to know everything about the moon, you can double tap that. It will give you more than you ever want to know. Each of these areas, once again, is a separate detail page that goes into deeper of providing you so much information about the weather or the item that you want to find out about.
Next 24 hours. Overcast conditions from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., with snow expected at 8 p.m. Heading.
Yes, so if you go to these hourly segment, as I mentioned, so if I go to the right a couple times here.
12 p.m., 33 and partly cloudy. Precipitation chance 2%. Cloud cover, 58%. 2 p.m., 36 and mostly cloudy. Precipitation chance 2%. Cloud cover, 89%.
Let's fast forward to 8 p.m.
4 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 35 and snow. Precipitation chance 2%. Cloud cover 100%.
You can double tap that and it'll take you to that moment, what they predict. As you saw in the details of the weather current condition, it will tell you the humidity and what the wind is supposed to be predicted for that hour. So you can see all the details of the barometer and all those things in each of these things. So that's what you can see in this area. Let's go down a little bit here.
10, 12, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m. Show more. Next 14 days. Mixed precipitation on Sunday through Wednesday, with high temperatures rising to 49 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday. Heading.
Let's go to, say, Monday here.
Sunday, partly cloudy. Monday, overcast. High of 39, low of 31. Precipitation chance 60%. Precipitation amount 0.14 inches.
If you want to see more, not as in-depth, but kind of splits this up so you can see what the day and night's like, I'll go ahead and double tap this.
Monday, January 22nd.
As you swipe to the right here.
Tomorrow, 39 degrees. Overcast skies throughout the day. Chance of precipitation 60%. Winds at 13 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, 31 degrees. Light rain throughout the night. Rainfall around half an inch. Winds at 5 to 7 miles per hour.
So it kind of splits it up so you can at least see what the day and night looks like.
View hourly data. Precip chance, 60%. Precip amount, 0.14 in. Sunrise, 7:32 a.m. Sunset, 5:27 p.m. Moon phase, waxing gibbous.
And so you can see the various information. Not as detailed, but at least kind of splits up the day for you. So I'm going to head on out here as well.
Weather, back button.
Double tap on back.
Weather, share, button.
And so you get an idea what this page is like, what you can do with it. There is so much underneath the hood, how the customization works, how you have all the different data sources. Mind-boggling. I have never seen anything as customizable as this. Bottom left.
Tab bar, selected, weather, tab, 1 of 5.
It is time for us to move on to the next tab here.
Maps, tab, 2 of 5.
Let's go under Maps. I want to show you something here. And let's go to the top.
Next hour radar, button.
All right, my friends. Some of you probably have heard one of my podcasts, Be My Eyes. I was describing how the Be My AI worked, and I was able to get the weather maps come up. And I get a lot of people ask me, how did you do that? Where did you get that from? And there's a couple sources you can do that. One of those is in here. Yes. If you are blind, obviously the maps isn't going to do a whole lot for us. However, for those with low vision and with sighted, this is a great area where you can check out all the different types of maps. Basic version of free, you only get certain maps, and where the subscription you get a lot deeper, and you can even customize what you want to show on the map. It is insane. I will show you a couple of these things. Check this out, my friend. You go to the right.
Share, button.
Yes, you're thinking about what I'm thinking? Yeah, I want to share this with the Be My AI and see what happens. Let's do that. Just for fun and giggles, folks. Let's double tap that.
Screenshot, button.
You have different options. You have screenshot.
Animated GIF, button.
or animated GIF. So for those that are not familiar with animated GIF, it is a set of sequence of radar events. So if you want to see the movement of the weather for the next hour and put that in animated GIF and then send it to your friend, they can see that, say, hey, check this out. This weather's coming towards us or to you, whatever not. You can share that with your friends and not. So that's kind of a nice thing for those with vision. But the one I particularly want to focus on is that screenshot. So those are the two options you have when you come to share.
Screenshot button.
If you double tap this,
Heading. Actions available.
go to the right.
Close button. AirDrop button. Messages button. Mail button.
Sounds familiar, right? Let's check see if Be My AI is on this.
Describe with Be My Eyes button.
There she is. Let's do it. Let's double tap and see what we got on the radar map.
Cancel. But please wait. Be My AI is writing a message. Be My AI. The image is a screenshot of a weather radar map from the AccuWeather application. The map is centered around the area of Belton and Independence, Missouri. There are several other cities labeled such as Topeka, St. Joseph, and Sedalia. The map shows light weather activity with some blue areas indicating possible light precipitation to the east of Belton. There is a timeline at the bottom indicating the radar's forecast progression from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. with the current time at 1:23 p.m. There are also icons for additional settings and features at the top right corner of the screen.
Yes. So you can use your Be My Eyes and describe. I can say, where's that precipitation? Did a pretty good job. So it tells me it was east of Belton. I know where that is. So it gives you an idea. If you have more precipitation on there, you can ask more questions about where are they located. And it will pop up and tell you all those things. So let's go to top left.
Cancel button.
Double tap cancel out of here.
Cancel button. Next hour radar button.
And then we're back to the next hour radar. Now, just for fun and giggles, for those with vision or low vision, you can do a lot with it. Let me show you what you got here. I'm going to go to the right.
Share button. Location services button. HDR button.
Go to the HDR.
Sheet grabber button.
Check
Double
this
tap to
out,
expand
my
the
friend.
sheet. Layers and options. Heading. Close button. Precipitation. Temperature.
Right now, you have precip and temperature, so you can have that as default. And check out what else you can pick. So if you want precip and temperature along that radar, you just double tap that and it'll take you to the radar map with those two information.
Wind.
You can double tap and it'll show you a map of just the wind.
Space button.
What is this space? I tell you what, if you are not happy with those two options, you got more to pick from. Double tap this.
Use presets to quickly switch between different groups of layers.
So those are kind of presets. So the precip and temp is one, wind is the next. What else do we have to offer?
Favorites. Heading. Selected. Precipitation.
That's what we always see when you open it up. It just shows you the precip.
Temperature. Wind. More presets. Heading. Humidity. Dew point. Snow depth. Rain totals.
Crazy, right? Snow depth, total amount. Wow, that is amazing. Does that work with the Be My Eyes? It sure does, my friend. If you just select temp, it'll show you the temperature in that various area. If you have precip, that what we just saw. Snow depth, it'll give you color range where the deepest and the least is in terms of what's on the ground. There's so much to pick from. Oh my gosh. So let's go back here.
Sheet grabber button. Layers and options. Back button.
Let's go double tap back.
Layers. Sheet grabber button.
Let's go back to where we were just at.
Layers and options. Close button. Precipitation. Temperature. Wind. Space button.
Now, there are various things you can turn on within the maps as well. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Layers. Heading. Radar and precipitation button. Winds. Winds. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Now, you can turn all these on your maps. Now, the more you select, the more it's going to be cluttered up and the more it's going to be hard to read and see. So that's why you get to choose all the various elements you want to see on the screen above and beyond the preset stuff.
Warnings and watches. Warnings and watches. Switch button. Off.
Yes.
Double tap to toggle setting.
This is kind of cool. If you have expanded, you can see all the areas that are under different types of advisory and warning. So you can ask or look in different segment of the maps of the different types of advisories and warnings and things.
Storm cells. Storm cells. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Storm cells, that's a big deal, my friend. I'll get into more storm cells when we get to notification.
Lightning. Lightning. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Yes, you can see all the lightning strikes on the maps.
Tropical storms. Tropical storms. Switch button. Off. Pressure fronts. Pressure fronts. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
You want to see where that stationary front is, or the warm front or the cold front? Yep. Yeah, I could put that right on the map and show you.
Cloud cover. Cloud cover. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
And that's it for this area. So that is what I want to show you. Let's go back out of here.
Sheet grabber. But layers and options. Heading. Close. Button.
Closes top right.
Next hour radar. Button.
Now we're back to this area. Now if you double tap this, which is at the top left here,
Super Res radar. Button.
you have different types of radars you can pick from.
Next hour radar. Button. Half-day forecast. Button. Multi-day forecast. Button. Dismiss context menu. Button.
And I'll dismiss out of here.
Next hour radar. Button.
So the point I'm having here, we can't always have our sighted friends and low vision have all the fun. So if you're completely blind like myself, take advantage of this area. Use the Be My Eyes and have it describe the map for you. All right, let's go back to the tab here.
Tab bar. Selected. Maps. Tab. 2 of 5.
Let's go to the next tab. Go to the right.
Locations. Tab. 3 of 5.
All right. Now, location works in several ways. Let's go ahead and double tap this.
Selected. Locations. Tab. 3 of 5.
Let's go to the top
Locations. Heading.
and go to the right.
Edit. Button. Search for a city or airport. Search field. Double tap to edit.
Pretty self-explanatory. So if you want to have multiple location as your favorite, or you just want to check out a certain areas that you want to take a peek at, this is where you come to do that. The other way, I'll show you in a moment, another way of getting to this quickly.
Lee Summit. MO. 1P. 33. 1%. 2. 36. 1%. 3. 38. 1.
What you're hearing there is it's showing you the hourly forecast. So it's telling you hour by hour. You heard the 1 p.m., 2 p.m. It tells you the temperature and such. That can be customized as well, what you want to be seen in those areas.
Details. Button.
Details about that location. And if I go to the right here,
Walt Disney World. Actions available.
there's my Walt Disney World. Now, you notice it didn't give any of the hour-by-hour thing, and that's because I've defined it and customized it that way. So, of course, I got to check out my Walt Disney World area. If you go to Details,
Details. Button.
let's go dive
Actions
deep in
available.
here, and I'll show you what that has.
Walt Disney World. Text field. Double tap to edit.
This is where you can rename it if there's a location not quite where it's supposed to be. You can change that anytime or any place or to any word you want.
Change name. Button. Weather. Maps. Bay Lake. Orange County. FL. United States. Walt Disney World. Coordinates. 28.38. Minus 81.561.
Yep, this is the coordinates of the location you have. So if you want your current location, yeah, it'll show you coordinates.
Current time. 2:34 p.m. Long press the map to fine-tune this location.
If you have some vision, if it's not quite where you want it, you could point the coordinates to where you want it to drop the pin.
Monthly averages. Heading. Diagram. Diagram.
Now, I have told AccuWeather about this.
Monthly averages are calculated.
Monthly averages. It's a diagram. It's not explorable. I did ask if they can make that into text or to an image where I can grab it and throw it to Be My Eyes. So hopefully we'll see that in future update.
Locations list display. Heading. Show forecast. Show forecast. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
This means, when I tapped on Lee Summit, it showed me the hourly and the temperature and such, this is where you can change that. So I have set for none for Walt Disney. So if I double tap this,
on.
I can turn this option back on and
Forecast type, daily, button.
double tap this.
Hourly forecast.
By default, it's hourly. So when you hear that Walt Disney World pop up, it'll kind of tell you all the hourly going on there.
Selected, daily forecast.
Or daily. Those are the two options you have to choose from. So I'm going to go back left and to go back to none here.
Hourly forecast. Forecast type, heading. Walt Disney World, back button.
Go back.
Walt Disney forecast type, daily, button.
Left.
Show forecast, switch button, on.
Double tap.
Off.
And that's how I'm able to turn it off. Just go to the right here now.
The locations list will display forecasts for the first 4 locations in your favorites, plus your current location. Additional data, heading. Weather station, none, button.
Yes, if you want to go dive into weather station within that area, you can double tap that and it'll show you all the weather station in that area that you can select from instead to see what's going on in and around those areas.
Find a nearby weather station to use for this location's current observations. Delete this location.
And finally, we have delete this location. I don't want to do that. Let's go back to the top left.
Locations, back button.
Double tap back.
Location. Edit, button. Search for a city or airport, search field. Double tap to edit.
Let's go back to Walt Disney there.
Lee Summit. Details, Walt Disney World. Actions available.
Now you hear there's actions available. Swipe up.
Delete.
You can delete it right on the spot.
Unfavorite.
You can favorite this or not.
Activate, default.
And then if you activate the Walt Disney World, that'll take you directly to the first page of the home where the weather tab is selected, and you'll see that current weather, and you can see all the information, hourly, all that stuff we just went through. So this is pretty much the location. Now, I did mention there's another way to get to that. Let's go back to the bottom left.
Tab bar, weather, tab, 1 of 5.
If I double tap that, and let's go to the top.
Share, button, options, current conditions for Lee Summit, MO, heading.
Even though that does say it's a button, that is a heading, yes. If I double tap this, check this out.
Locations, heading.
This sounds familiar.
Edit, button. Search for a city or airport, search field. Lee Summit, MO, 1P, 33, 1%.
Takes you right to the location tab itself. That's another quick way of getting to that location tab. So let's go to the bottom center here.
Tab bar, selected, locations, tab, 3 of 5.
Let's go to the next tab here. Go to the right.
Caret, tab, 4 of 5.
All right. Now this is kind of a unique tab. I'll leave it at unique. Double tap this.
Selected, caret. I'd say I'm happy to see you, but that would be a lie.
That's this little snarkier mark. That's towards the top here.
Customize personality, button.
Where you can customize that personality. So this is one area you can customize Caret's personality. That's little saying what it wants to tell you. If you double tap this.
Personality, heading.
And go to the right.
Done, button. Snarky personality Caret will deliver sarcastic weather reports, mostly, free of violence. Personality slider, snarky, adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
And if I do just that, if I swipe down, you get to different selection.
Friendly. Professional.
And if you want to know a little bit more what that means, go back left.
Professional personality Caret will disable her banter and other ellipsis, fun features.
Go back to the right.
Personality slider. Professional. Adjustable. Friendly. Snarky.
As I swipe up, that's what I had for you.
Homicidal.
That's what I normally set it to, and then we got the one that's totally off the rail, which is the last one. Swipe up.
Overkill.
Overkill. It gets a little raunchy. It does use some profanity and things like that.
Homicidal.
I'll go back to my homicidal one. Now, there is something else I want to show you. You go to the right.
Drag the slider to adjust Caret's personality. Politics. Apolitical. Button.
Apolitical means I don't want any political stuff. This is interesting. You can select the different types of political stance that you would like to have in the joke. Check this out.
Selected, apolitical, centrist, liberal, conservative, libertarian, communist, anarchist. Choose the apolitical setting to disable political commentary altogether.
So that's what I have is apolitical, so I just want to leave out of that.
Back button.
And towards the top here with 4 fingers, go back.
Person, politics, apolitical, button.
And that is what you can select in types of what personality should be. Let's go to top here.
Personality, heading.
Go to the right.
Done, button.
Done is the top right. Double tap.
Customize personality, button.
So that's one way of going to changing the personality of Carrot. That can be also set in the settings.
Ocular sensor, button.
This is for those with headsets, AR, VR headsets. We can take advantage of that. If you have that, you can see the weather in your ocular.
Inventory, button.
As you unlock things, yes, you can achieve and unlock things to get things for your ocular. It's crazy.
Hearts, 1.00 out of 7.
The hearts is things you unlock for the ocular and get to the inventory. So really, nothing for the blind people to be concerned about, or if you don't have an ocular for that matter of fact. I'm going to show you some other things they have available here.
Charge, button.
This is how you get those heart points to charge up. You can charge that.
Praise, button.
You can try to praise Carrot. It'll throw you phrases you have to repeat back, and it kind of rewards you for more heart points.
Debug, button.
Debug, pretty self-explanatory there.
Chat with Carrot.
Yes, it does have a chat with Carrot. Yes, this is one of those chat GPT with Carrot. Yes, if you want to have a chat with Carrot, you have to kind of unlock this area. I haven't really played around with this for the fullest potential. It does use up part of your hearts, so you use it for every time you ask a question. It's going to use up your hearts, and so you have to build that up to do that. Otherwise, I think you can pay more for chat, and you just get the personality. It's no difference than any other GPT. You just have the Carrot as a personality. You can ask certain questions as you would if you were to use Chat GPT.
Missions, 0 of 128. Heading. Unfortunately,
those who are blind cannot play this game. If you're low vision, you might be able to play this. It's kind of fun.
Current mission. Find the U.S. President's official residence.
So, the first mission is to find the President's residence. Well, that is the White House in Washington, D.C. If you double tap that, that allows you to start your mission. And what it does, it opens up a map, and you have to go use your map, find Washington, D.C., then zoom in, and then find the White House, tap on it, and that you accomplish the mission. So, unfortunately, that is not accessible for those that are blind. You're not going to be able to play that game, but you can go through missions. That sounds kind of cool.
Achievements, 21 of 75. Heading.
Achievements. Now, this is what everybody can do, and now you don't have to participate this. This is the settings. You can turn this on and off as well. I'll be going into that deeper. Achievements are things, little things like you are in. Let me show you a few here.
The mist is hungry. Locked. 0% complete. Experience your first fog. It puts the sunscreen on its skin. Locked. 0% complete. Experience a dangerously high UV index.
So when you're in one of those achievements, it will unlock by itself and say, congratulations, this achievement was unlocked. So you give you a quest to try to achieve. This is something you can do. If you go visit a city with a high UV, you'll be able to unlock it and things like that. So it's kind of a fun thing if you are into that. I'm going to go to the next section here.
High scores. Heading.
Here we go. This is kind of funny. They think this is a game. High score.
High temperature. 40 degrees F.
Now, since I have not used it very long, of course, the highest temperature I've had in the area that I live in, it has not gone above 40. So over time, you can see what's the highest temperature you have ever experienced when you use the Carrot. It's kind of cool. I like this. So you can see what the highest temperature you've ever experienced.
Low temperature. -7 degrees F.
And the lowest, so that's -7 Fahrenheit. That was achieved a couple of days ago. So that tells me this winter was 7. So over time, you'll be able to expand this. Oh yeah, I've been to this hot and this cold.
Wind speed. 42 miles per hour.
The highest wind that was tracked since you've been using Carrot?
UV index 2.
That's going to change real soon when I go visit Florida. That's going to go right up.
Air quality index 61.
That's the highest air quality I have seen so far.
Statistics heading.
Now you get into the statistics area. Check this out.
First install 12/9/2017. Days used 2,234.
Wow. You're saying, oh my gosh, you had it. Well, I did download it. I just never used it. But yeah, it's been downloaded since 2016.
Forecast streak 16.
So that means I checked Carrot 16 days in a row.
Conditions observed 13. Cities visited 2. Screenshots shared 5. Weather reports filmed 0. Social heading Reddit, Mastodon.
These are Carrots on Reddit, Mastodon,
Twitter, Instagram.
all those places you can, if you want to follow Carrot, those are all the social platforms you can follow. And that's it. So let's go back to our Carrot tab.
Selected Carrot tab 4 of 5.
And now lastly, let's go to Settings.
Settings tab 5 of 5.
Which you can find on bottom right. Double tap. And let's go to the top.
Settings heading.
So we are now in the settings. I am not going to dive in a lot of different areas. There are plenty, and I would be going on forever and ever if you thought this podcast was too long. Well, if I got into every one of these, man, you're going to be here for a long time because there's so much to cover.
Membership setup 3 of 6.
So this is where your membership is. If you want to subscribe or you are a subscriber, you can double tap that and it tells you the various options they have. The only subscription they have is yearly for us. So that's just something that's kind of because you have to do all upfront costs at once. For me, I took the leap because I absolutely love what this has to offer.
General button.
Let's dive into general so we can see what you got in here. These are the basic things you can change and turn on and off.
Units, degrees Fahrenheit, miles per hour, MB button.
Pretty self-explanatory. If you want a different type of measurement or speed or whatever not, double tap that.
Location, heading. Default location, GPS button. Show address. Show address, switch button, off.
Interesting.
Double tap to toggle setting.
I thought that was kind of cool. So if you don't want your address up there, that's nice.
Carrot, heading. Personality, homicidal, button.
And there's the other way to change the personality of Carrot.
Audio, heading. Speech synthesizer. Speech synthesizer, switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
What's this about? All right. Yes. For those voiceover out there, if you're a voiceover, you're not going to hear those audios being spoken. Typically, when you open up Carrot, it'll tell you a remark of the moment. So the homicidal or snarky remark that will tell you out loud audioly. But that's not for voiceover. I'll show you what I mean. This will occur when voiceover is off. So those without voiceover can turn that option on and off, and different types of voices.
Speak while playing audio. Speak while playing audio. Switch button, on. Speak with voiceover.
There we go. That's for us.
Speak with voiceover. Switch button, off. Double tap to toggle setting.
By default is turned off. If you do want that snarky remark to talk to you as you open up Carrot, you double tap that and it will tell you. The only thing I have with that, if I want to turn it on, when I open up Carrot, it's going to say the share button at the top left. You hear that? And so it kind of overwrites what you're going to. So what I'm saying is that that voiceover saying share option will say at the same time of the snarky remarks. So you can't really hear it. So thus far, I just keep it off.
Voice, Carrot, button.
Yes, you can change the voices.
Sound effects. Sound effects, switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
Pretty self-explanatory there.
Accessibility, heading. Reduce motion. Reduce motion, switch button, off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Pretty cool. They know about accessibility. For our low vision friends, you can turn that option off.
Haptics. Haptics, switch button, on. Extras, heading. Siri shortcuts, button. iCloud sync and backup, button.
Yes, everything you customize and everything gets stored in the iCloud. You can double tap that and see all the store points, and you can restore it as to. So if you made a mistake, you can restore from one of your backups, or you can just delete everything.
Delete server-side data.
And if you want to delete everything, start all over, you can do that as well. Let's go back out of here.
Settings, back button.
Top left is a back.
Setting, general, button.
Let's go to the right, see what else we got.
Source, Foreca, button.
That is the same area that we saw all the different sources. You can select your default source.
Notifications, button.
We are definitely going to dive into notification. There's a lot in here. I want to show you a couple of things how this works. Double tap this.
Notification ID, QDQZ R9 Hebs, button.
Okay, starts at the top here.
Settings, back button.
Go to the right.
Notifications, heading. Frequently asked questions, button.
Now you're going to see that frequently asked questions every so often. We heard that back in the data source. I highly recommend you go to the FAQ because it does a fantastic job, especially in the data source area. It will break down each of the data source and what each of those has to offer in terms of how many hours out you can see, how many days out in forecast, all sorts of different information, if it supports pollens and whatever not. That you can do that. Now in here, obviously, it'll tell you all the frequently asked questions about notifications.
Precipitation send alerts when rain or snow are expected in the next hour, or when a storm cell is approaching your location, button.
Now, if you recall, I told you there's always going to be a label and then followed by
precipitation send alerts when rain or snow are expected in the next hour, or when a storm cell is approaching your location, switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
Then you can double tap to turn on and off. Now, some of the weird things is that the labels themselves.
Precipitation send alerts when rain or snow are expected in the next hour, or when a storm cell is approaching your location, button.
You have to double tap that, and that'll take you to further details and what you can select in that precipitation. What do you want to be notified? So let me show you.
Monitored precipitation, heading.
Go to the right.
Selected, rain on, button.
So in this case, I want the rain. I want it to tell me real-time precipitation when there's rain on the way or stopped.
Selected, snow on, button.
Yes, by default that's turned off. If you want to be notified by snow, I turn that on.
Selected, storm cells on, button.
And then we have storm cell. Storm cell, my friends, is a whole different beast. So let's go to the right here.
Approaching storm cells may bring heavy rain, strong winds, lightning, hail, or tornadoes.
So that what is the storm cells all about, and that is kind of a big deal. It's turned off by default. I want that.
Interruption level time sensitive, button.
So time sensitive, this is a type of notification you want. It's time sensitive, so you do want your notification to pop up as time sensitive. You can select different variation of sensitivity for notification.
Time sensitive notifications will be delivered immediately, even if you are currently filtering notifications via focus. Note, you must have time sensitive notifications enabled for caret in each focus. Threshold any precip, button.
This allows you to say what kind of precip. So if you double tap this.
Selected, any precipitation.
I say any type.
Light precipitation. Moderate precipitation. Heavy precipitation.
And then we have heavy.
Precipitation, back button.
Top left, go back.
Threshold any precip, button.
So you can change that.
Minimum delivery interval 15 minutes, button.
Now, you can double tap that and set it. I think by default it's 60 minutes. I set it for 15. However, there is a limit.
Any precipitation notifications that arrive less than 30 minutes after the previous one will be delivered silently to avoid constant buzzing on your iPhone or Apple Watch.
So in other words, it's not going to come across as time sensitive. It will still be in your notification, and it will pop up if you're not in focus mode or do not disturb or whatever not. So that's just to let you know what that means. So I want to be buzzed every 15 minutes about a situation if it's going to start and stop. And that is it for the screens.
Back button.
Top left, let's go back.
Back button. Precipitation send alerts when rain or snow are expected in the next hour, or when a storm cell is approaching your location. Button. Precipitation send alerts when rain or snow are expected in the next hour, or when a storm cell is approaching your location. Switch button. On.
All right. Now, the one gotcha I found about this notification area, if you want to be able to change what I just showed you for precip or any of these ones I'm going to show you down below, you need to turn that option on first and then go in and make your changes. Otherwise, it may not allow you to go in, or it may not allow you to make any changes. So that's kind of a quirk that I found. There are tons of other notifications here, folks.
Severe weather. Heading. Weather alerts deliver government-issued weather alerts and warnings for your current location and one other location. 5 critical alerts active. Button.
There are tons of different things you can set up here. You have critical weather information, and what that means, if you double tap this,
monitored locations. Heading.
This is where you can monitor different locations other than your current or plus on top of your current.
Current location. Button. Walt Disney World. Button. Add location. Ellipsis. Button.
So those are the 2 cities or 2 locations I do want to get alerts. If you do not want them to be on those lists anymore,
Walt Disney World. Button.
You can double tap.
Walt alert. Are you sure you want to stop monitoring this location? Stop monitoring location. Button.
What you can do is stop monitoring. I'm going to go to the right here.
Cancel. Button.
Cancel.
Walt Disney World. Button.
Go to the right.
Add location. Ellipsis. Button.
Where you can add more location that you want to get alerts about different types of severe weather.
Critical alerts. Heading.
Okay, my friend, this is critical alerts. Now, this is a little different than I've seen on other weather apps as well. I've selected a handful of here. Let me show you the ones I have turned on, and I'll explain what critical alerts are.
Critical alerts always send. Button. Tornado warning. Button. Severe thunderstorm warning. Button. Tropical storm warning. Button. Hurricane warning. Button. Damage threat warnings. Button.
These are the type of alerts, and you can select a handful of critical alerts that they have to offer. These are critical, meaning regardless if it's on focus mode, silent mode, or whatever, it will override everything, and you will hear a siren going off when these situations occur. I think this is very handy because those are very important. I do want to know those are occurring. If I'm asleep or whatever not, and I have do not disturb on, it will override those things. So I haven't seen that. That's pretty cool.
Add critical alert. Ellipsis. Button.
And that's where you can add the different type of critical alerts that they have available.
Critical alerts play a very loud or raid-like sound effect, even if your device is muted or do not disturb is enabled, for specific and imminent life-threatening weather alerts. Mute filters. Heading. Add mute filter. Ellipsis. Button.
If there are certain type of alerts that are not severe or critical, it will alert you of a notification. If you don't like those particular notifications to keep popping up, for example, this is not for everyone, but for me, I live in a pretty safe area from floods. So I get a lot during the spring. It keeps saying flood advisory, flood warning, whatever. It's not so much I hate that. It happens so many times, so a lot during very rainy time. You can mute those. So you can use those criteria to say, whenever we get a flood of any type, I can select that and I'll mute it. So if you go to the right here,
mute weather alerts that are low priority or that get posted frequently in your area.
There you go. So you can double tap those area, and that'll show you all the various alerts that it does give you on the carrot weather, and you can mute those.
Interruption level always time sensitive. Button.
Types of interruptions.
Mute weather alerts that are low priority or that get posted frequently in your area.
Pretty self-explanatory. And that is it for just this area.
Back button.
I know there's a lot. Double tap, go back.
Back button. Weather alerts deliver government-issued weather alerts and warnings for your current location and one other location. 5 critical alerts active. Button.
Now you know what that means.
Weather alerts deliver government-issued weather alerts and warnings for your current location and one other location. 5 critical alerts active. Switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
And don't forget to turn that on to be able to change the type of notification.
Lightning send alerts when lightning is detected within 25 miles of your current location, button. Lightning send alerts when lightning is detected within 25 miles of your current location. Switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
Yep, it does lightning. So if you want, let's go back left here.
Lightning send alerts when lightning is detected within 25 miles of your current location, button.
Let's double tap that to go in.
Lightning data does not update in real time, so notifications may arrive up to a couple minutes after lightning is first detected nearby. Use a wider proximity threshold to maximize awareness of lightning in your area. After the first lightning notification is sent, you won't receive another until after the minimum delivery interval has elapsed. Disclaimer: lightning is very dangerous. Do not rely on Carrot's lightning notifications to indicate the presence of lightning or to determine whether it is safe to stay outdoors. Use at your own risk. Read additional disclaimers and safety information in the frequently asked questions button.
Got a lot to say there, didn't it?
Back button.
Top left is back. Go to the right.
Lightning, heading, interruption level time sensitive, button. Time-sensitive notifications will be delivered immediately, even if you are currently filtering notifications via focus. Note: you must have time-sensitive notifications enabled for Carrot in each focus.
Yep. So you got the type of sensitivity of a notification.
Proximity threshold 25 miles, button.
You can set a range how far out and how far in you want.
Minimum delivery interval 15 minutes, button.
The minimum is 15 minutes. You cannot go any less than that, just to let you know. So if you want to see real-time lightning and you want to see how many there are and real-time, get the Weather Gods. Weather Gods has probably one of the best notifications I've ever seen in anything. Their notification is a little different. And what they do have is a subscription for lightning. It is fantastic. If you are one of those that want to see every single lightning in your area, it has an area. It'll tell you where it was located, how far it was from you, whatever not, and it tells you minute by minute. It is incredibly detailed. Weather Gods has some incredible reports and things like that, and their notification is way better, and it's probably the best notification when it comes to weather apps. Is Weather Gods hands down, because it will tell you if a advisory or warning have expired, if it's been updated. There's just a lot of things about it is cool. But nonetheless, for Carrot, you get one alert every 15 minutes if there's one near you.
Lightning data does not update in real time, so notify.
And then back to the self-explanatory there. Let's go to the top left.
Back button.
Double tap back.
Back button. Lightning send alerts when lightning is detected within 25 miles of your current location, button.
So you get lightning. These notifications, all these, by the way, I have to tell you, are subscription. You have to have a subscription to have any of these alerts.
Lightning send Hurricane Tracker get updates on tropical storms and hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean, button.
Now, this is for me, my friend. That's the one I like. You can double tap that. You can say none, or I want to see Pacific and Atlantic, or I want just Atlantic. For me, I just want the Atlantic. So it kind of keeps me up to date on any types of tropical depression, tropical form and warnings, and even hurricane.
Hurricane Tracker get updates on tropical storms and hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean. Switch button, on. Storm Outlook receive a notification at 8 p.m. when the Storm Prediction Center forecasts possible thunderstorms for your area in the next 24 hours. Button.
Now, this is cool, my friend. I like this a lot. It is not very common to find that in a weather app that will give you Outlook. There are different types of Outlook. So here in the States, if we are going to have some pretty bad storms predicted in the next 24 hours, our provider will tell us different range of severity. So they have different types. They have like marginal and I can't remember all the different levels, but there's 5 levels, and that tells us what the risk of tornadoes gets higher the level, and etc. It's very important to have the Outlook. And so this will deliver it to you, my friends.
Storm Outlook. Receive a notification at 8 p.m. when the Storm Prediction Center forecasts possible thunderstorms for your area in the next 24 hours. Switch button on. Double tap to toggle setting.
So we have to turn that on. If you go back left into that, you can change the time if you want other than 8 o'clock. I think that's perfect for me. So I can be weather aware for the next day if we are expecting to have a high chance of tornadoes and such.
Data points. Heading. Umbrella reminder. Get a notification at 8:15 a.m. when daytime precipitation chance is expected to rise above 25%. Button. Umbrella reminder. Get a notification at 8:15 a.m. when daytime precipitation chance is expected to rise above 25%. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
So these are data points you want to be notified. So this explained about the rain.
Sunscreen reminder. Get a notification at 8:30 a.m. Sunscreen reminder. Get a notification at 8:30 a.m. when UV index is expected to rise above 6. Switch button. Off. Add custom notification. Ellipsis. Button.
There are so many different data points you can pick from. You want certain temperature, when it gets above temperature, dew points, humidity, wind, everything. If you're one of those that want to have a notification when something occurs in that area, when it meets a threshold to alert you, you can customize it the way you want.
Daily summaries. Heading. Morning report. Dispatch a summary at 8 a.m. with the forecast for the rest of the day. Button. Morning report. Dispatch a summary at 8 a.m. with the forecast for the rest of the day. Switch button. On.
Pretty self-explanatory. I want a data summary at 8 o'clock. You can go back left and change the time.
Evening report. Dispatch a summary at 5 p.m. with the forecast for the next day. Button. Evening report. Dispatch a summary at 5 p.m. with the forecast for the next day. Switch button. On. Astronomy. Heading. Sunrise. Receive an alert 30 minutes before the sun rises. Button.
If you want to be notified of sunrise and sunset, yes. If you go to the right here.
Sunrise. Receive an alert 30 minutes before the sun rises. Switch button. Off.
You can turn that on, go back left. You have options to when to notify you. So, for example, this next one.
Sunset. Receive an alert just as the sun is setting. Button.
I have that at just as it's happening. You can do 30 minutes beforehand before sunset. I want to know when it does the sunset at when, like in real time. So I set it to when it's set. So at 5, well, whatever it is for today, it'll pop up at that time when is sunset. Great for me because I like knowing when it's sunset so I can go around the house, turn on the lights, and so I can have it all ready when the wife gets home and whatever not, and at least have the dog be able to see in the house. Otherwise, it'd be dark and he's running and everything. So it just makes me feel a little bit more tuned with everybody else when it's sunset and sunrise.
Sunset. Receive an alert just as the sun is setting. Switch button. On. Moon phase. Receive an alert at 6:30 p.m. for every major moon phase. Button. Moon phase. Receive an alert at 6:30 p.m. for every major moon phase. Switch button. On.
I never had any alerts like that, so I said, well, sure, why not? That's kind of cool to know what moon phase it is.
Do not disturb. Do not disturb. Switch button. Off.
Obviously, do not disturb. If you really don't want any of these notifications to occur at certain times, turn that on.
Notification ID. QDQZ.
And then we're back to notification. Yes, that was a lot to cover there, folks. So let's go back to top left.
Settings. Back button.
Back.
Setting. Notifications. Button. Live activities. Button.
If you are a live activity friend, this is kind of unique. So whenever there's precipitation detected and I minimize or exit out of carrot, it will automatically pop up as a live activity on your lock screen if you have this set up. And if you have the newer device, a dynamic island, that's pretty cool. I can just tap up there and it'll tell me when it's supposed to start and when it's supposed to end. Yeah, I can just keep tapping up there. Supposed to end in 3 minutes, supposed to end in 2 minutes, supposed to start up again. It's really kind of cool how the live activity works if you are into that.
Widgets. Button.
Widgets.
Apple Watch. Button.
Yes, my friends, if you're an Apple Watch user, you can take advantage of all the things with carrots. This is subscription only.
Layout. Button.
Layouts, my friend. This is the layouts of the first page we were at, the weather tab. Let me come back to this in a moment.
Display button.
Not only does it have all the different variation for our low vision friends, but this is also where you are able to change the tabs along the bottom. If you want to completely customize your tabs, that is where you go to completely arrange the tabs you want or add things to it, or you can remove that caret tab, for example, and hide it. So if you don't ever want to use that and you just want to use those different tabs, that is where you go.
App icon button.
You can change the app icon.
About button.
About, that is all the various way you can contact Caret and all their social platform.
Tip jar button.
Tip the developer for their job well done above and beyond your subscription.
Rate Caret button.
And then last we have Rate Caret. My last area, let's go back to the first tab here.
Tab bar, weather, tab, 1 of 5.
Let's double tap that. And let's go to
Customize layout button.
It's the customized layout that is that we saw in settings. I am not going to go into heavy details. I'm just going to show you the various things you can do because there is so much in here when it comes to customization. Show you some of my favorites and how I was able to add some of those things that you saw on the screen here. Now, before I move on, I want to make one note and make this pretty clear to everybody is that I'm going through this direction instead of going through the settings and layout. And there's a reason for that. And that's because there are some accessibility issue with this layout area. I'm going through this method because what this does is I'm editing this layout that I have set up and it is called Classic. If you go through the settings and layout, there are many different types of layout you can choose from. However, not all of them are accessible. Some are where you can include cards that are visually appealing. So there's a lot of images and it will have temperatures and things like visual wise. And so for us, we are not going to see or hear that as an element. So there'll be some blanks in there. But if you keep to the classic, you should be pretty safe like I'm going to show you, but it's still very customizable as you are going to hear in a moment. But just be warned that some of the things that you can do within layouts may not be accessible as you would like. But other than that quirk, I still love this app quite a bit.
Back button. Classic. Heading. Share button.
The cool part about these presets, I can share this with other friends. If you like my layout or you want to share that layout and preset that you made with your friends, you can share that. That is a bonus. I love that.
Tap for interactive preview. Layout style. Plain button.
There are many different types of layout.
Sections. Heading.
Now we're getting to the section. That's what we saw when I was telling you earlier, the current observation.
Edit sections button. Current observations button.
Each of these areas, you can change what you want to be shown on there. So each of these areas can be double tap.
69 degrees and sunny.
It gives you an idea what it looks like before you accept it. So here's what it is now. It tells you the current temperature.
Feels like temperature 72 degrees. Enjoy this sunny day, or else.
And there's that snarky remark.
Data, heading.
And then you get to the data.
Temperature, actual, button.
You can change how you want that temperature to show. You want to show actual, real feel, wet bulb, all that stuff can be changed.
Data points, 1, button.
And these are the data points I was telling you about. What this means is that I can add or change what I want each and every section of that layout.
Add up to 3 data points to this section.
It'll tell you what the minimum maximum is. So we can all have 3 items that can be shown in this section.
Include, heading. Remove feels like temperature. Reorder feels like temperature, button, draggable. Double tap and hold. Wait for the sound, then drag to rearrange. Actions available.
So above and beyond your current temperature, so it only shows the real feel, and you can rearrange these as you want, remove them. What other points can I put in here? Good question.
More data points. Heading. Insert weather condition. Insert actual temperature. Insert wet bulb temperature. Insert Celsius temperature. Insert Kelvin temperature. Insert high and low temperature. Insert precipitation chance. Insert precipitation amount. Insert wind speed. Insert wind gusts. Insert UV index.
You get the idea. You can define and put as much all you want in there, but in this case, it only takes 3. Have no fear. I'll show you something else here.
Current, back button.
Let's go back.
Current, data points, 1, button. Weather summary, heading. Displayed summary, Snark, button.
Change the personality again of the carrot personality. And that's it. Because top.
Classic, back button. Classic, current observations, button.
Go to the right here.
Cards, button.
You have
Actions
cards.
available.
So between current
Hourly forecast.
And the hourly forecast.
Cards, button.
This is where you can add different thresholds. Check this out, my friend.
Cards, wet bulb 71 degrees in 2 hours.
What I have defined, anytime any of my wet bulb gets over 70, it will show up on the main screen. If it doesn't meet that threshold, it doesn't show that data. That's what's so cool about it. So here's some of the previews here.
UV index of 10 in next hour. 11 miles per hour gusts right now. Air quality is moderate. 3.0 miles visibility right now.
Why didn't I hear any of that? That's because there's certain thresholds. So let me go to the right. This is just a preview of what it could look like.
Sunrise at 2:20, 11 HRS 59 mins. High tide at 3:55, 3.20 feet. Waning gibbous moon. Organize cards. 4 active cards. 15 total. Button.
All right. If you double tap this, my friend.
Organize the cards that will appear in this section if conditions are met.
You hear that? When the condition is met. Yes, you can set threshold when to appear, when not to appear. So I'll show you what I have.
Precipitation. Show when above 0.0 and over next 12 HRS. Button. Actions available.
So that threshold needs to be met. So it's not going to show any precipitation until it's over 0.00. You can change that to higher or lower or none at all.
Wind. Show when above 20 miles per hour over next 12 HRS. Wet bulb. Show when above 70 degrees over next 12 HRS. UV index. Show when above 6 over next 12 HRS. Air quality. Show when between unhealthy and hazardous. Button. Wind star. Show when above 10 miles per hour over next 12 HRS. Button.
You're probably confused. Why did it show twice? That is because it's a priority. If it's going to be over 30, I really want to know about it. So it's going to be towards the top. And all of these can be elevated and move around as you want. And so I move this down. So if the wind is going to be below a certain amount, not as severe, I just kind of put it down below. So those are going to be seen in order as you see it if that threshold is met.
UV index star. Show when above 3 over next 12.
So I had 3, the other one was 6.
Air quality star. Show when between moderate and hazardous. Pollen count. Show when between high and extreme. Button. Wind star. Show when above 5 miles per hour over next 12 HRS. Button.
So many to choose from. So once again, you can move these up, down, any way you want.
Drag item.
By swiping up, and you can drag the item around and place them where you want.
Pressure. Visibility. Sunrise/next tide. Moon phase. Star. This card is superseded by another with the same data point that appears higher in the list. It will appear if the higher priority card does not meet its thresholds. Add multiple cards with the same data point but different thresholds to allow for more complex sorting. ** enable this data point from the source screen in caret settings.
Pretty cool. And yes, you can add all the different various things to this list too for threshold.
Cards. Back button.
Back.
Cards. Organize cards. 4 active cards. 15 total. Button. Advanced. Heading. Card row limit. Unlimited. Button.
And that's just meaning I can put as many data points I want, so you can have unlimited, where the other card or segment, you can only be restricted to 3 data points, for example. That's when you limit, but in this, you can do unlimited.
Classic. Back button.
Back.
Classic. Cards. Button. Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
Each of these areas, you can move around. For example,
hourly forecast. Button.
I can double tap that and I can select what I want to be shown on the hourly, how many hours I want to be shown, if it's 24, 48, 78, or 72, all sorts of different hours advanced you can do. You can double tap and rearrange these things as you want.
Daily forecast. Button. Swipe up or down to select a custom action.
Daily forecasts, if you want to see 7 days, 14 days, 10 days, those are, well, depending on your data source, of course. Some will only show 7, some will show more, and some may have even more than that. So that's where I've assigned 14. Plus, I want to pick the data points of what is shown in the daily forecast. Anytime,
Drag item.
you can swipe up and drag each of these segments around how you want it to appear on the screen.
Cards, button, footer, button.
And then we have the footer. There's so much in here, my friends. And that is it for Carrot. I know this was a long, lengthy podcast. I tried to trim as much as I could and not dive into so many things. All right. With that said, because of Carrot, because of the data sources, how many I can pick or pick from, that was one of the biggest consideration why I went with it, because I love having the option of so many data sources to pick from and being able to select. I love all the notifications, especially the hurricane and the tropical storms. There were some things in there I'd never seen before, and so I love that. The lightning, of course, was a bonus. And then, of course, my most favorite is completely customizable. As you've seen, it is deep. And it has rich information everywhere along this Carrot app. I have been a Weather Gods fan for a long time. I still have it installed. I love Weather Gods, as I mentioned before. The notification is bar none the best. I mean, notification is fabulous. It offers reports that I've never seen before. Like, it has reports like there's a storm cell coming towards you. It is known to have twisters, rotation, hail. It does more depth. If you're a weather guru, you want to know as much as you want about everything, Weather Gods is definitely for you. It has a lot of features in there. However, it does have a subscription. There are 2 different subscriptions in that package. I think as total, I think it's $5 a month. If you want to go with that, you only have one data source. Well, not correct. You have Eris, but you can pick all the different types.
This AppleVis podcast has been brought to you by the community of AppleVis.com for the latest in resources and tips and tricks to get you the best experience from your Apple device. Visit www.applevis.com.